I don't get it.
Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Okay,
Welcome.
wow.
What?
Okay, whoa.
What is that?
Okay, whoa.
We have big guests today.
What? What is happening?
I'm just trying to bust your balls.
so annoying. Do I say whoa?
No, I'm just pretending like, whoa. I'm just trying to get attention.
Like,
Lauren.
whoa.
Like, whoa.
We have
like,
huge
wow, we have
guests
huge
We have
guests today.
huge guests.
That's what I mean.
Huge.
Lauren's smiling.
so
She's-
high strung.
Lauren
It's like
is-
she's having a boy crush come over.
She is nervous,
very
smiling
nervous.
right now.
I'm very nervous that these people aren't going to like me because I find them to be very cool, and they are Cameron and Lauren from Love Is Blind.
Lauren Speed and Cameron Hamilton. I love their names. But also, Lauren, can I just say, like, what happened with Jonathan Van Ness cannot happen today.
Yeah,
like,
you guys, do we need to say what happened there?
I think we did.
I am
but we can
equally as
reiterate.
effing excited, and I swear to God, if they leave, they're not here yet, obviously, guys. So we're recording right before they walk through the door. But if they leave and you think that
like,
they
they
don't
hate
like
us, they don't like us.
and you tell me that and put that in my head, I'm gonna be so mad at
All right,
you.
I'll keep it in my own head.
I can't believe Jonathan Van Ness came over to this apartment.
I can't believe I smoked weed with him right before.
I know. It was very cool. But we did keep him too long.
No,
No,
think
we
they're
didn't.
fine.
Why
Keep
are you
him for
making
an
it
hour
seem?
the way that
Okay,
we were supposed to, and we told him it's going to be an hour.
Okay.
Anyway, so Lauren and Cameron are going to be on with us for about 45 minutes. You guys, if you're not watching Love Is Blind,
Who
still
are
gonna,
you?
You're still going to be interested in this because you'll understand the concept of the show, and then you'll probably want to watch it more. So,
And you also just understand the realm of reality television and falling in love on TV, and just
I mean,
hearing
you
about a
probably
relationship
do
that was
watch The
successful.
Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
I think we can assume most people listening to this watch. I mean, there's probably definitely people that don't, but
Yeah.
Love Is Blind is, I don't know, arguably it was the #1 streaming show on Netflix for, I think, over a week.
Yeah.
And Lauren and Cameron are the most adorable, likable, lovable people through the television screen.
And they're one of two married couples that lasted throughout the show and have been married for over a year and a half.
So crazy.
Because the show was taped in 2018 and now it just started streaming. So they've actually been able to like kind of live a very normal life up until then. So I'm wondering how that's affecting their relationship because it's kind of the reverse of The Bachelor.
And overnight fame. But that's also so lucky and exciting for us that we get to sit down with them because when people talk to Bachelor couples right after the show, it's like obviously they're in honeymoon phase. These people have been married for a year and a half now.
Exactly.
Like it's so incredible. And all of a sudden they're like this overnight success.
Lauren, do you want to explain the concept of the show, like in the stages that they show, if for those who don't know it,
Okay. And
like for the pods and all that?
okay, so I think it's like 13 girls and 13 guys are dating in these pods where you can't see each other, you can only hear each other, and oddly enough, everyone dresses up to the nines while you're in the pod. I'm like, hello, they can't see you, but I guess it's for the audience for looking good on television.
Also, you feel good.
Yeah, you
look good, you feel good,
Okay,
you know?
so
But yeah,
they're
no, I'd
dating
wear
through the
sweatpants.
walls, and then I guess we don't really see how specifically this happens, but people narrow down to see who they like the most. And once you've come to like a conclusion, like I just like this person, I just want to talk to this person.
It's called picking the one, I think.
picking the one. Then you basically figure out if they want to get married. And then I think it's 9 days or something of talking in the
I
pods.
thought it
They get
wasn't even
engaged.
9 days. I thought they were like, well, they were saying I love you after 4 days, which got me mind boggled.
Well, did it say 4 days in the timeline of the show? Because I think that's what's very confusing is we never really know how long they're talking to each other.
so
in those
write that
pods,
down as a
right?
question that we
Yeah.
need to ask them.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a bajillion questions.
So much. Because the show is edited, so you're kind of little bit lost, but it also is edited very fast, so it keeps you engaged, and I enjoy that. It's not like Married at First Sight, where it's dragged on for like 15 episodes
And then
to
the
find out what it was.
commentators like say the
Yeah.
exact same thing over and over again.
So then you find out if you're gonna get engaged. If they say yes, you're engaged, and then
you
go,
see each other for the first
and
time.
then you see each other for the first time, and then you put the ring on,
Which is so awkward.
and then you go your separate ways until you get to Mexico. And then
is
in
like their
Mexico, you're
paradise
on your
version.
honeymoon,
But it's-
basically. Your
yeah.
engaged honeymoon. And then you meet and see all the other couples and all the other options you had.
you had.
But you're engaged now. So you can look from afar. And the only person that had a problem with this was this girl, Jessica, which I'm sure we refer to as Messica.
Everyone's
Yes.
talking about Jessica.
And she wanted another guy who's in a relationship, and she couldn't handle it. But that's pretty much everyone played fair, and they weren't straying. They just were sticking to their own relationships. And then at the very end,
well, after that, they move in together, or do they meet parents
yeah,
first?
they move in together and they plan the wedding, quote unquote plan. I don't know
it.
if you actually planned the wedding because they all were exactly the same wedding.
Maybe like the guest list.
Yeah, the guest
Right.
list.
Like small things. To
And
make
we're
it
talking about the flowers. So
Funfetti cake.
Yeah.
simulating a wedding planning period.
Yes. So they were planning a wedding, living together, discussing finances, all the good stuff that creates drama in relationships. And then they go to the altar. They're both in their tux and in their wedding dress. And then one person will say, I do or I don't. And hopefully your answers match up.
Were they told that was like what they had to do?
Probably 100% if everyone
didn't
says I
see
do
it.
or I don't.
We didn't see them explain that. And Nick and Vanessa
Yeah.
are amazing.
Nick Lachey.
I feel
Lachey.
like Nick doesn't do anything and Vanessa just carries it.
Well,
Absolutely
I think
correct.
people can make that argument for Chris Harrison.
But Chris
Ladies,
Harrison's
the final rose.
Yeah, but he's the solo host. Now it's like Nick goes,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm Nick Lachey." And she
then
goes, "Hi,
Vanessa is
I'm
like,
Vanessa
okay, so
Lachey."
let me
And
explain
she-
everything that's about to
Nick
happen.
goes, hi, and I'm obviously Nick Lachey. Which
Yeah.
you have to ask them about.
like they
That's
were
so
making
weird.
a parody out of the fact
Yeah.
that he wasn't going to do much of the hosting.
Right.
Exactly. So she really explains it all. But yeah, that's it. And Cameron and Lauren, who will be joining us very shortly, both said I do.
And just so you guys know, if you haven't seen the show, all you have to do is watch the first episode to fully understand like the people we're about to sit down with. And I'm just so obsessed with them. They're so charismatic, and I can't wait to meet them in person. So we're gonna wait for them to get here
And
We'll return.
after
this
shortly.
break.
after this break.
In 2 seconds for you. Okay, guys, they're here and we're recording and say hello.
Hi,
Oh my gosh, they look amazing and they're so tall. They're so beautiful and tall.
says that.
You
We're
guys are like a
tall.
Disney prince and princess.
Oh.
This
so
is like history. You know what I was thinking about earlier this morning? First of all, we were all freaking out because as soon as we heard that we were going to get you guys, we were like, oh my God, we got to like put the dog away. We're like,
I literally dropped out of school. I missed so many hours and it's totally fun. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
We love dogs. So
I'm
it's
kind
all
of mad
good.
I missed the
I
dog.
know.
Now I gotta come back just so I can meet the dog.
Oh, thank you. We'll bring her in a more like restrained environment.
yeah.
Fair.
but this is history because you guys are the first couple ever to come out of this, I'm sure, highly successful show that's going to go on forever. And I feel like I'll always remember the day that we sat down with the first couple from Love is Blind.
Yeah.
You know?
So true, because you guys might be like the next Bachelor franchise. Like it's
Right,
that show's been
yes.
on for 18 years, and who knows?
Wow,
with
18
the just like
years.
the bang that you guys had, it
Yeah.
could be the same. Do you guys think that not just the overnight success of the show, but your overnight fame, has it just been wild? Because for The Bachelor, people slowly get to know you over the course of 11 weeks, which is obviously super fast.
Yeah.
With you guys, you had 3 weeks, and all of a
Right.
sudden, y'all have 1.3 million
Yeah,
followers.
Right.
it's insane, honestly. Like, I mean, it's still something that you kind of get used to. Like, for example, I was just at the nail salon. I was at the nail salon earlier today, and this girl was sitting there. She's like, "Oh my God, Love is Blind." I was like, "Nope, that's not me."
Oh my God.
But then I told her, I was like, "Yeah, it's me."
It's
She was
me.
like, "Oh,
Oh
my
my
God. So it's
God.
getting to the point where we can't even like go to the supermarket or
Right.
to the nail shop or these little normal places that we would
Yeah.
usually go without someone like, "Hey, can I take a picture?" Which is cool. I mean, we're totally humbled and totally grateful for all the love, but it's definitely a change.
And you
Big
guys have been
change.
married for a year and a half. So are
That's
you
right.
not, is it sort of wearing down on you, this overnight fame? I feel like you guys are going to interviews back to back. Like, what is your day to day like right now?
Well, our day to day right now is packed with interviews, but thankfully we had that year and a half to build our relationship. Versus not having it. Maybe the show just came or was filmed and produced. I don't know how far back. We had that time to grow, and so even though it's a lot right now, I mean, we're enjoying it and
Yeah.
working together as a married team.
We're happy to finally be able to talk about our relationship.
Yes, that's the
Because we
best
had to be
part.
quiet for a year and a half.
That
Like,
is so
that's a
long because on
long
The Bachelor, you
time.
only have to keep quiet for what?
3-4 months.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
guys watch any reality romance?
Of course.
shows?
Oh,
Yeah, we
the-
watched The Bachelor.
Okay.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Before
Yeah.
you signed up for this?
I did a little
he
bit.
did,
Oh,
yeah,
more
kind
so.
of doing some homework, kind of seeing what to expect.
Okay.
So I watched Bachelor in Paradise, Married at First Sight.
Married first, I guess.
all the good ones.
Good.
So what was the audition like to be on Love is Blind?
Yeah. So basically we had to do like an application, and then once the producers really started feeling you, then moved on to like Skype interviews. We had to take a psych eval to make sure, you know,
Right,
you
very
weren't
Bachelor.
right.
Yeah,
right.
That's pretty
you know.
standard across all reality.
And
Yeah.
from then on,
You don't want to
it's-
marry a murderer, you know?
please no. Please no.
That would be a great show.
That would be
Spin.
how
What a
to
spin.
not marry
Maybe
a
a short
murderer.
show, but-
Yeah.
But yeah, from then on, it was just kind of like a waiting game, you know, when you're like waiting, oh,
Right.
did I make it? Did I not? So it was kind of,
Yeah, it
crazy.
was frustrating. I was getting more mentally invested in it every day. At first, I was like, this is kind of crazy. And then as, you know, kind of a foot in the door sort of thing where you just thinking about it all the time,
Yeah.
more and more. So
right.
thank God it
crazy.
brought us here today,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, how was it being on the first season of something and going in completely, pun intended, blind?
I know.
Yeah.
It was actually crazy. I mean, I honestly just tried to keep an open mind. Of course, hearing the, you know, thought behind the show at first was just like, oh my God, this is a crazy concept. Like, who's going to freaking get married to somebody behind a wall? And lo and behold, it was me.
That was us. Yeah.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy though? I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, I should not be joking about coronavirus, but Love is Blind is probably the way to date right now, you know?
Yes.
Because I'm single and I was like, I'm not going out on any dates. I don't know where
Right.
people have been
I
traveling
know.
from. So if I was dating through a pod, that
You'll
There
be
you go,
safe.
you're
That's like
protected.
the SNL skit. That's what they did.
Oh, is that-
yeah,
okay, I
the
didn't even see that.
coronavirus.
Wow,
like
that's
dating
hilarious.
pods.
Attention all small business owners that work from home and have to ship things out a lot. We got something for you. It's called ShipStation. When you're selling online and getting your orders out, it can be so annoying and frustrating and expensive. For me, I didn't realize how expensive shipping was until I became an adult. I don't know if you guys remember from the last podcast,
Lauren's Oopsies,
where she was like, it was $40 to ship that out. And then I was like, oh wow, it was
Yeah,
33.
see?
That's
Yeah,
freaking nuts.
Pretty damn close. But ShipStation helps you get your orders out quickly, and you save money on shipping costs and keep your customers happy. And no matter where you're selling or what you're selling, Amazon, Etsy, your own website, ShipStation brings all of your orders to one simple interface.
And it just makes it really easy to manage from any device, even your cell phone. So if you're on the go, like I always am, and you need to ship something out, I'm telling you, ShipStation is the number one choice for all online sellers. You'll ship more in less time with the best rates available. And right now, I Don't Get It listeners can try ShipStation free for 60 days when you use our offer code GET IT. That's absolutely no risk. You can start your free trial without even entering your credit card info. All you have to do is visit ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in GET IT. That's ShipStation.com, then offer code GET IT.
ShipStation's hard to say.
ShipStation.com, make ship happen.
Make
That's
ship
a
happen.
great catchphrase.
Okay, so back to the pods.
Sure.
Yeah, let's start talking about the show.
Yeah. So were you told at the beginning that like if you don't find a match, that you will not be like progressing in the show?
No, they actually didn't tell us that. It was
Okay.
more so like we were going on dates and we came back into like where the little mixing part is, where all the women and all the men meet, and it was just like a chunk of people gone, and we're like, where did these people go?
Because
and
they
they're
just decided there was no matches for them.
they didn't
Basically,
make matches.
yeah.
The producers didn't decide; they just didn't make matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that concerns me for season 2, maybe just to like, you know, make a match so you'll get farther and get more
Right.
screen time. So we got to figure that out.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I think that's always something that people are concerned with. But I think my personal opinion is you can only really fake it for so long.
True.
And, you know, something in the process is going to reveal your true intentions. So, yeah, it is definitely a concern. And you could see people think, you know, saying they're ready to commit and then not actually being that way. But
Right.
just
People
given
are,
this show,
people
I
are
don't
crafty
think,
though,
Yeah.
so let's hope not.
yeah.
How many hours do you spend in the pods before you said I love you? How many
Yeah,
hours?
because we don't really get to know as an audience like how many days you guys are dating.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we've spent up to like 5 hours in one date session.
True.
So
Okay.
we will have like sometimes
Whoa,
even
in one session, 5 hours of you guys together.
up to
Wow.
yeah. So it was pretty long, and then it would be multiples at times.
Multiples, and
Yeah.
some of them were like you didn't have to do the. They were like kind of, I don't want to say optional days because they're all optional,
Late night dates.
right? But yeah, some people didn't I never understood that, but some people chose not to go on certain dates. I guess they just weren't feeling the connections or whatever.
Yeah.
So how do you get like the message that someone is waiting for you in the pod? Like so
Yeah.
it's like
And do
Cameron
you
wants
get
to talk to
assigned
you.
at first? Like, were you assigned at first?
Well, we weren't really assigned. At first, everyone had to date everybody, right? So it was
Got it.
15 women and 15 men. So we all had to date. And then after that, we kind of ranked everyone. So it's like, okay, these are my top 5 or my top 10.
Oh, it's like sorority rush.
Right. Then they would match it
Oh.
up. And if your top one was the same as the other person, it was like, okay, well, these people really like each other, so they're going to get more time to date. So it was that type of thing.
That's genius. If only Nick Lachey and Vanessa would have explained that to us in the 10 minutes they're in the show.
Slight more explanation, but that's why you guys are here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
We're here.
I have to just say that, like, okay, so watching Married at First Sight, you're like, these people are fucking nuts, all right? And then, like, on the other side of the spectrum, The Bachelor almost seems like almost normal at this point, right?
Yeah.
And then you guys are somewhere in between.
Yeah, that's
How
a good point.
wild did you think what you were experiencing was? Like, when you started to feel love feelings where you're like, holy shit, snap out of this. This is so silly.
I mean, it was
Yeah, I think it did seem crazy at first. Like Lauren had just
terrifying.
Said, like, who would be crazy enough to propose to someone
Yeah.
sight unseen through a wall after 2 weeks, effectively? But it was the case that when we were there and we had that connection, like, you know, this is real. We talked about our family, and that was kind of like the first time that we really connected and felt something beyond like the artifice of this experiment. Then we started taking it seriously and just, you know, trying to not just dismiss it offhand and say this is a stupid, you know, artificial thing. And obviously it led us here. It did, you know, it is a kind of a crazy premise, but
kinda.
But you as a scientist, right? Like scientist, what kind of scientist are you? I was always wondering
everyone
that,
asks,
actually.
but
I was like, what are
it's
we working with
very-
here? Makeup
yeah.
or
yeah, science makeup. No,
Makeup
they
science.
explain it a little bit on the show, but I work in artificial intelligence, which is basically just making computers intelligent by programming them in a particular way.
Ex Machina?
Smart man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Impressive.
Oh my god, so hot! Did you learn that in the 5 hours?
I did.
But Lauren, to
No.
me, you are the hottest. Like you were
Oh.
just as a reality
Come
All
producer.
the guys saw you and they're like, damn it.
I'll tell you about
Too
my
bad.
personal
Yeah.
journey.
Sorry.
Was everyone was talking about it, obviously, and they're like, Naz, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. And I'm like, no, I hate watching reality TV. It's like I worked in it.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was anything better than The Bachelor out there, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I didn't love it the first 20 minutes. And then you guys, I started crying.
Yeah.
And I want to specifically ask you about the moment that you said, I love you. What was it about Cameron, or can you tell us about the moment that happened that you were like, okay, I'm going to say I love you?
Yeah, absolutely.
That we
I'm-
didn't maybe get to see in your head.
Sure. I mean, honestly, after me and Cameron made that connection, like he mentioned with us, with our families and the crying, after that, I was pretty much hooked because I have never, cried on a date. Like, this is weird, but fulfilling at the same time. And after that, our conversations just really got deeper and deeper and more involved. And I could tell that we were both vulnerable and really like feeling each other. And it was just like unlike anything that I had ever felt before. So at the time I was thinking, I was like, okay, we're here. You know, I'm vulnerable. We're open-minded. I was like, you know what? Cameron, I think I love you. And I was like, I'm going to just say it. And, you know, as you could see after I said it, I was like, ooh, can we curse on here?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, ooh, did I just fuck up? Like, you know, so it's kind of scary. And Cameron, he said it back. And not only did he say it once, he said it twice.
Yeah.
So I
Have
was
you
like-
ever told a guy, because it is very powerful to see, and
Never
that's what
first.
really hooked me. That
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this woman is saying I love you first to this guy. The show just kept getting better and better for me
Yeah.
because of that. Had you ever said I love you to someone?
Definitely not first. No, I'm not even like, I will definitely wait until the person said it. But, you know, this time it was just like, I can't even hold it back. Like, it would get to the point where every time that we would go on these multiple dates, I would go into the pods and I would be like, Cameron? Like, I
Right.
didn't want to talk to anybody but him.
Oh, so
literally.
you didn't know?
You didn't
No.
know when you were going in.
They would just be
so
like,
you'd
going
be like,
to
you
pod
have a
number
date
5.
in that pod, but you didn't know it was
Right.
him.
Exactly.
Right.
And oftentimes I'd be like, Lauren, and they'd be like, no, it's Diamond.
Were you disappointed? Like, how would you
Yeah, of
feel? And
course.
how do you get out of it? How do you get out of the
can't.
date?
You just kind of
You
sit
just
there
go
and
through
be
the
like,
day.
so how's your day going? Yeah.
Some people did fall asleep. Some people talked about like other people that they might be interested
That's actually
in.
kind of helpful because they
Yeah.
live together.
Right.
So you live with Barnett. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by him.
Oh, I lived with Carlton during the show.
Carlton. Okay, so you guys had like roomies.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you guys all live in one big
So all
space,
those-
right?
all
How,
in
how
big
did that
space.
work? Those pods, was that truly in between your living spaces? Because that's what we feel like watching it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was one area where everyone kind of mixed, and it was kind of like a sorority house, and then you had the pods.
Was it a house or like a warehouse?
It was. We
It
call
was
it
a
the facility.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Wow.
a artificial
Sounds like-
intelligence movie.
This is like
Sounds
this is
like a science
this
lab,
is Ex
right?
Machina
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, what was
Experimental
your
facility.
take on the guys since you like know them really well? Like,
Yeah.
do you think Barnett's a fuckboy, as a lot of us have seen? But you have like some
At
insights.
first.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, of course, there was a point in the facility, obviously, where he had all these women that were interested in him, and he, I mean, maybe said some things that he shouldn't have, and that's by his own admission.
That he like would propose to multiple people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Got
what it
them
was.
thinking
Yes,
that
yes,
they
yes.
were
Got
gonna
them
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Which, I mean, I think he's expressed that he kind of regrets
He
that.
did. He came off really well in the
Yeah.
reunion, actually.
And I think the critical thing is once he committed to Amber, he never wavered in that. And you see that throughout the show. I mean, Jessica tries continuing to talk to him and say, I'm still interested, basically, and he shuts it down.
Yeah, that's
So-
a man. That's very nice.
Yeah. I was proud of him.
Very
Because he
proud.
could have been like, well, I'm trying to see what that's like too, but he,
Yeah.
he didn't do
There's
that.
cameras,
So
he could get
I
caught,
know,
you know.
right?
Can't
So
play.
I'm proud of him.
All right, so you guys all know that I'm trying to get creative when it comes to meeting a man, just pretending to buy avocados at the grocery store.
Is avocados, are they like an attractive produce item?
I don't know. I mean, avocados are pretty sexy, I guess. No, they're not. What is a sexy fruit or
I
vegetable?
think the-
Strawberries.
Strawberry sexy.
That's true. The sexy thing, though, to attract a man is to use your brain, and Best Fiends kind of helps you work that out. And it's a fun way to interact with males.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
and that's
instead-
exactly what I've been doing is I've been asking guys to play Best Fiends with me.
Oh my
Which
god,
is this
that's so
interactive
funny.
game you guys can download on your phone. It is so much fun, and it's just the best way to start conversation and sort of like bond through playing a game.
I like it a lot because instead of scrolling through social media, I have something that's a little bit more engaging with my brain, a little bit more. I mean, it makes me feel like
You're not
I'm
just-
getting a workout for my brain
you're
a
not
little
just
bit more than just
mush.
being so mindless and mushy.
Well, with over 100 million downloads, the 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play, and that's Friends without the R, Best Fiends.
Tell me if I'm dumb asking this question. It might actually be a dumb question. I know people say there's no such thing. What was the most nerve-wracking part of the process? I mean,
Ooh.
I say that
Before, during, or after?
Well, you can give me one of
Yeah.
each
I
because
think-
I was going to say when you guys were going to see each other for the
Right.
first time.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was
Absolutely.
saying dumb.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
The reveal and obviously the proposal, but any marriage proposal, you're going to be nerve wracked. The reveal
Oh, God.
was nerve wracking.
Yeah, that was that day. Like, my anxiety was on 10, and I was
Right.
so nervous just because it's like everything had built up to this point. Like, I know that I love this man, and like, what's gonna happen when I see him or he sees me?
Yeah.
And what if one of us isn't pleased, or
Right.
it's just like,
Yeah,
ooh.
it was very scary.
Yeah.
Were you
What-
more worried that he wasn't going to like you or vice versa?
Probably,
That's a good question. I would always worry that they
probably
wouldn't like me.
that I wouldn't like him.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be me.
Yeah.
Lauren would definitely be insecure about herself. But
Yeah.
I'd be
I
like,
would be both. What did you picture each other to look like? And
Yeah.
how did that compare to what you actually look like?
I actually, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I actually try not to picture anything specific. Only because I feel like if I would have, then if I saw him and he didn't look anything like that, that I would have been like, oh no, he looks nothing like that. Like, I'm so disappointed. So I really tried to keep an open mind, hope that he was handsome, and like go from there.
Are you allowed to ask height or like hair color or anything?
Yeah, there was
Are
no
you-
restriction.
Yeah, you can, but of course it's not encouraged because that's the whole point of like,
True.
right? But
Yeah, there weren't any restrictions on what we could talk about.
yeah.
I thought, they only casted attractive people, though.
That's good.
Could you imagine? No, of course, that's good for you guys.
Yeah.
But what if they threw some uglies in there?
No one's ugly.
Then that would really
But see-
truly test if love was blind.
But the crazy thing is, though, is that you can get two attractive people together and it's like terrible. You know what I mean? And I've had that experience like multiple times. Like, oh man, this guy's so hot. Like, I can't wait to be with him or go out with him. This is before you, babe. But then you go on this date and it's like, this is terrible. Like, he's the worst date ever. He's an asshole.
Absolutely.
Like,
That happened to me last week. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everyone, because we've heard that before, like, everyone's hot, but, it's like,
Yeah.
I have a question. So last week we were talking about Love is Blind on our podcast, and we have sort of a funny history where all of us have sort of like deeper voices, right? And so people were like, Naz, you should go on Love is Blind. And I was like, I don't know, because I've always sort of been self-conscious about my voice. And I feel like just because you can't see someone, maybe you would judge what they look like
voice.
based on their voice. So I would
Right.
love to hear from you, Cam, because
Yeah.
I feel like as women, we always feel like if you talk like
Jessica.
Right,
right. Maybe, so I don't know. Do you guys feel like, not maybe for you specifically, but having been through the process, that
Right.
voice could be a factor in like who you
absolutely.
could see?
Somewhat.
I'd be
Yeah.
screwed, I feel like.
Well, I mean, it depends, but I do think voice is a factor. I think there were people who turned out to look a lot different than I associated them to look based on their voice. I mean, obviously, I got extremely lucky with Lauren. I mean, that's an understatement. But,
Aw. You guys are both, so you're like a wedding cake topper.
thank you.
it was
So yeah, it's a factor. I mean, voice is a physical component, and I think people are attracted to voice just like anything else.
I'm like a prankster, so it was a few days where I purposely
I saw that.
changed my voice. Like one of them, I remember I went into, I was like, "Hello,"
No,
like
no
try
one
to
was buying that.
try to do like a manly voice, like, "Hey, what's up?"
I already knew what your real voice was. So.
Well, I don't know. So
feel
that
like-
type of stuff is fun to
I
me.
feel like I'd fail on this show just because of the voice aspect.
That's what I was
I
trying to
know.
say, and,
Yeah.
and it
What do you
kind of
not
makes
like
me
about your
feel like
voice?
Yeah,
All
someone
of us
told
don't
us
like
one,
our
no,
voice.
tell them what someone told us
it's
one
because
time.
one time Naz and I got an email into the podcast or a Facebook message or something saying, this is when we started the podcast at like 27 for me, and I was 27, never had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then the girl writes into Naz and I both saying, maybe you both haven't had boyfriends yet because your voices are a little deep and guys are turned off
it's
by
not
it.
even that deep.
What?
though.
So I guess
They're
but
not. They're so dramatic. They're fine.
No, but someone said that to us.
I know,
Lauren,
but
they said
then
that.
you have Scarlett Johansson who has a raspy, deep voice,
Exactly.
and guys
who looks
swoon.
like Scarlett Johansson
But
and is rich
men
and
If she
actually
cut her
love-
hair, it's not that amazing anymore.
Men love raspy voices. Like they think that that's sexy.
I just
So-
feel like men also assume, though, if you're not like talking like this, you're not sort of, the damsel in distress. But anyways, moving on
I think
from
that's a stereotype.
it is. Moving
Yeah.
on from that really quick, having produced TV, and I don't know how much you can like answer.
Right.
Did producers sort of prompt people questions in order to facilitate conversation?
I don't think it was really the case like that. It was, we were just having important conversations that we knew we needed to have.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Did
amazing.
you meet any girls in the facility that were also interested in Cameron?
Yes.
Yes.
I did.
And
It
how
was
did you deal with
actually.
that?
You know what's fun? Look at Cam's face.
Oh,
Well, you guys can't
I
see it
know
over the
women. I
podcast.
know
But you know what? It was actually cool because I just laid back and played it cool. She was like, "Oh my God, I love Cameron. I think he's the one."
Oh no!
And I was just like, "Okay, girl."
I was confused.
But
I didn't know.
that one time when we came back and those cuts were gone, she was gone. So
That's
I
so
was like,
funny.
"Ooh, so he must not have liked her back." I tease him about it all the time.
I don't
sure I
know.
would
She's a nice woman, but I don't know. I don't remember us having that deep. Of
Yeah,
a
but she was just
conversation.
like really all in on Cam, and she knew that I liked him too. But for me, it was never like a catty situation because I feel like if he's for me, then we'll end up together. If he's for you, then
That's
you'll
a
be
very
with him.
healthy outlook.
Yeah.
I'd walk around with headphones and like la la la.
I know,
don't
exactly.
talk to me.
And some of the girls did that.
Yeah.
They chose not to share who they liked because they didn't want to create like animosity on the girl side. It's just like, I'll just keep it to myself because I don't want drama.
I think I would do that too.
Yeah, which in
We all
reality
kinda
TV
did
is
that.
kind of
Actually, no. I
unheard
would
of.
probably write their name on my shirt, make sure everyone knew
He's
that.
mine.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do.
I don't know. That's what I would do. Looking back on the show, were you shocked to see how any of the couples were in private? Like some Gigi meltdown, some
Well,
Jessica.
we kind of heard about
Okay.
some of that stuff. We didn't know anything about the Barnett and Jessica relationship, as it were. I mean, I talked to Jessica in the pods, and she told me that she was interested in Mark, she was interested in Barnett, but she was kind of on the fence about it.
Okay.
Leading up to proposals, so I had no idea that they continued into Mexico and back to when we got to Atlanta.
Okay, so she hid that pretty well in front of
She
you guys.
did. I think we were just as shocked as the rest of the world watching it. Like,
Interesting.
we didn't know that was happening.
Another thing that meant so much to me watching your stories, you talked about the potential adversity that you'd have to face in this interracial relationship.
Absolutely.
And Cam is the first person you've dated outside of your race. So
Yeah.
have you guys had to deal with a lot of that?
Not really, honestly. I mean, living in the South in Georgia, every now and then we may get a stare or two from some old person, like, I don't know. And we just stare back at them like, hi, and kiss each other. But outside of that, no, not at all. Like, everyone's been super supportive and they love me and Cam together. And that's white, black, and everything in between. So it's honestly been great.
Hey guys, Naz here, and I actually want to take a quick break because I want to tell you how excited Ashley and Lauren and I have been to be hearing so many of you meeting your partner on OkCupid these days. First off, it is because it actually works. It is the most mentioned dating app in the New York Times wedding section. It's also because OkCupid asks the most thoughtful questions so that it can get to know you and what type of person you're looking for. So the more questions you answer, the better they are at finding your match and you have something in common with. Some of my favorite questions that OkCupid asks are like, do you find intelligence sexier than looks? That one is really, really important for me, as you guys know. Are you a cat person or a dog person? Also muy importante. And do you listen to podcasts? Have you listened to mine? Maybe you've heard me talk about you on it. Anyways, you guys get the point. There are a lot of specific questions that they ask to ensure that you find a great match. OkCupid is the only app in the world that can match you on a range of issues that you care about. So stop the mindless time on dating apps and go to the app where you choose what matters. Also, by the way, OkCupid is free, so I don't even have to give you one of those super long URLs with a code. All you have to do is download OkCupid today, go on a great date this week, and then tell us about that great person that you met, and maybe we'll come to the wedding.
Was one of the requirements in being the show living in Atlanta or
We're all
Georgia?
living. Yeah, we were all living in
All
Atlanta
locals
at
to
the
Atlanta.
time.
So the facility is at Tyler Perry Studio.
It's
Now we
not
know where you
actually.
shot. Yeah, okay. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's good. That way you didn't have to experience that transition of who was going to
Right.
move to who, which
Exactly.
can be so rattling. Early
Right.
in
It's
a
actually
relationship.
genius. Wow, the LA version of that would be so awful. I feel
Yeah,
like.
that's nuts. Okay, so I wanted to talk about your family, Cam.
Sure.
We saw you meet her family, but we
Right.
didn't see her meet your family.
Right.
There was, what's so compelling about the show is that it's so fast paced.
It is.
But then I guess you miss moments like that.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many things that didn't make it into the show, and Lauren meeting my parents was one of those moments, which I was really looking forward to seeing it because it was a special moment for us. But for whatever reason, it didn't make the edits.
There was no drama, maybe.
I think
it just
that
went
was
well.
probably
It was probably way too good. I love you too. Like, we need more
It did go
drama
pretty
here.
smooth, yeah.
That's great.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Lauren showed her mom the wedding dress.
Your
on her
mom.
phone.
Well, she's
What
my
did I
mom
say?
too now.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know I meant. Yeah, she showed her the dress on her phone, and we just sat down as a family. Lauren's dad came over later.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
that's
dad
cool.
was there. We were all kicking it.
Awesome.
How is your
Eating
relationship with Papa Speed? I feel like a
It's
lot of
great.
people are curious.
Yeah. Of course, we've grown to love each other. He comes over all the time. He actually lives like a few miles down the road.
He's watching our dog right now.
Yeah, he's watching our dog at home. So, I mean, he's a lot like Lauren. He's Lauren's role model. So, I mean, they have a lot in common. He's a great man. Very
I
happy.
bawled my eyes out at the reunion when you were expressing that. Oh my god!
Oh my god,
what a
girl, me
tearjerker.
too.
Oh,
Yeah, well, clearly
Don't get
you
me
got
started.
Vanessa going.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. And it's like,
good.
I never plan on getting emotional, but something like whenever I talk about my family, it's just like, oh, I love them so much.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my trigger words.
Yeah, me too.
Tell us about Nick and Nick and
Oh.
Nick and Vanessa. Wow, my
all
childhood
the
is just
time,
like, say it.
I know. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, like when he
Multiple
said, and I'm
times.
obviously Nick Lachey, like what was your reaction?
I don't know. Did he
When
say
he
that
said
in the
that
man
on
or
the
Maybe he had a couple
show.
multiple takes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That
know,
slipped
when
right by
because we
me.
actually didn't know who the host of the show
Who
were
was
going to
gonna
be
be.
until that very moment when they walked out. So
my
I was like, oh my God,
gosh.
98 degrees, my childhood.
Right.
Amazing.
And then it was just like, wow. Then I was like, Vanessa, oh my God, she used to host TRL. It was just
Right.
like my childhood like flashed before my eyes. And it was kind of
That's
great.
so funny.
Did you guys get to know them at all?
Yeah, actually, they're both really cool. Like Vanessa, they didn't show it, but she came to like our wedding and she talked to me before the wedding, and we like cried, which is like
my
all this
God,
good stuff
that's
didn't make
incredible.
it.
Wow.
Yeah, Nick sing me happy birthday from like the phone because we got married on my birthday.
We
Wow,
Super
that's
Yeah.
so serendipitous. I
guys.
love that.
So and she's super friendly. Like even after the show is wrapped, she's reached out to me like, "Hey, just sending you love and light. Like, just want to be friends. And if you
Yeah.
have any problems, reach out." So she was super sweet.
That's
to me.
beautiful. That's the hard thing with
Yeah.
reality, especially when the show's not just focused on you, is that the time spent has to be spread between all these different people.
Right.
So are there any moment, you guys have done 1,000 interviews, is there a moment that didn't air that you can tell us about that maybe you haven't told anyone else yet?
Give us something juicy. Come on.
Something juicy.
Um,
I mean, I can just tell you a couple things off that just come to
Okay.
mind. I mean, there was a moment when in the pods we realized that we both have the same
all right.
parents' names.
Oh.
Like Pam and Bill.
Like Pam and no, that's weird. I
It
thought
is
he was.
weird.
weird.
I
Both
thought
of
he
your
was an
names are the
actor
same
when he
names.
said that.
You thought he was an actor?
Because I was like, my mom and dad are Pam and Bill. He's like, what? My
Yeah.
mom and dad are Pam and Bill. I was like, this is
That's
fake.
why I was feeling like
You're
it
an
was like a
actor.
setup of some kind.
Absolutely.
And they got married a day apart.
Right.
December 17th and December 18th.
Yep. It's true.
That's
Wait, what? That's
amazing.
insane. You guys
That's
are so
weird.
meant to be. Wait, this gives
Are
me
both-
so much hope. I need to go on Love is Blind.
Are both your parents together?
And the mine
Still
are.
together? No.
But
My
yeah,
parents
his
are,
are.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you get to plan your wedding at all?
We did. So we got to pick our cake, our my dress, bridesmaids dresses, flowers. So we pretty much did
Do you
get a
think
chance
you'd
to pick the details.
ever do like a bigger wedding where you can invite everyone you want?
Yeah,
Like
Definitely
us.
reception.
Or
yeah,
reception?
for sure. Like a big party.
Yeah.
For everyone that couldn't make it, it's like let's party, let's celebrate.
We only had like a couple weeks really
Yeah.
to rally
Right.
the troops to come to the wedding. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it was amazing
wild.
that the people who came did come.
Yeah.
It was obvious people are so invested in you guys. I mean, clearly we are like so much. I've heard rumors, trumors that you may
Trumors?
potentially, well, it's a true rumor, may
Okay.
potentially be getting your own spin-off show.
You never know.
That's a yes.
I didn't say anything.
Are you
You
shooting
never
it? Are you
know.
shooting it right now?
You
You never
know.
know.
Oh my God, I would
Okay,
die.
so it sounds
So
promising.
you guys got to stay tuned.
Do you
and see
promise
maybe-
if you do, you guys will come back?
Oh, of
here
course.
and
And I
tell
want to
us?
see the dog.
Okay,
okay, fine.
amazing.
I want to see the
Bring the
dog.
dog
Big
back.
mistake,
As long
Lauren.
as he doesn't bite.
Are you gonna have kids?
No, I know. Is that annoying?
We
Eventually.
will,
Guys,
yeah.
everyone's been asking you that.
No,
probably, right? It's
eventually,
kind
of
annoying.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, we love each other, so I want to make some little camis.
Some little lorries.
Oh my
Yeah.
Guys, I just want to
Wow,
paint the
you guys
picture
are
that
like really.
he's
like, they're a
holding
year and a
her
half
hand.
in, and
He's
they're,
holding
like,
her
really
hand
touching.
under the table.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I can't.
Well, that's kind of fun because you guys are experiencing marriage in like the honeymoon phase of dating because you aren't at that
Right.
2-year point yet where
Yeah.
you're like whatever they call it. That's like when it starts to become like a very deep emotional thing and it's not as much of a physical thing.
We're almost there, though. We're a
You're
year and a
almost
half
there.
in.
Yeah,
Right.
But like it's very cute to see you guys still like very much honeymooning.
Hopefully, we stay that way.
Yeah.
But
I
I mean,
work
now
on-
we're not perfect now.
Yeah.
We
Oh, no.
still have some struggles.
Oh yeah.
And some arguments.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys argue over?
Personal space.
I mean,
Who,
that's,
who wants more of it? Who wants less of it?
I think you probably know.
Yeah,
seeing the show.
I just because for
Lauren's
me,
like, I want a pod. I need a pod back.
it was a whole 360 for me. Before this, I was like an independent woman. I had my own place. I had my business. Like I was a hermit. So for me, like
Yeah.
turning around and being married and living with someone, it's like, ooh, I get a little.
And we see each
Claustrophobic.
other like every day, all
Yeah.
day type of
We
thing.
work from home.
We both work from
so
home.
we're together
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah.
Pet peeve. Each other's pet peeves of each other. What one from each, please?
Oh. We've said them a lot. Do you have a different one?
I can say the same one. New one. Okay,
I'm
new one.
tired of talking
okay, I
about
got a
that
new one. I don't like when I wake up in the morning. Okay, so our dog's downstairs, right? It's like, in the morning the dog has
Right.
to go out. So Cameron will go downstairs, fix
my
his
God.
coffee.
This
The
is what
dog will
Jared
be
does.
crying
This is what
and
Jared
like
does.
barking. And I'm like, why didn't you let the dog out, Cam?
That only happens once in a while.
So I have to like get up from my groggy sleep, go let the dog out. Like, you were right here. Peter's
Wow,
gonna
this
be
is
like,
so
you don't
wrong.
let the dog
Jared
out.
Jared still does this, but like Lois has gotten used to it. But when she
Yeah.
was younger, I'm like, are you kidding me? You're gonna go make your coffee
And
and
leave
just
the
like
dog
do like brush your
crying.
teeth and stuff while she's like trying to hold it in.
Right.
So rude.
Same.
All right, so this is a
Well,
kind
what
of
about my pet peeve?
Oh, yeah. We got to get it in.
I really don't like when Lauren piles a bunch of stuff on the bed
I
and just
cannot.
leaves it.
Oh.
Tons
what
of
Laurens
stuff.
do.
Bags.
I
and clothes.
stand that. I cannot put
Drives
it
me
away.
crazy.
It's like
Yeah.
mentally blocking my mind of
Exactly.
thinking.
I'll
Thank
get
you.
back to it.
it's hard when you're getting
No.
ready, to like
It is.
clean while you get
It's
ready.
like I'll come back
cleaning
and do
while
it when I
cooking.
get back.
Yeah. This is a little bit of a deeper question. Do you think people would be falling in love all over the place if we all couldn't see each other while dating? So many people on your show got engaged without seeing each other because the love feeling was so intense.
I honestly do. In a weird kind of way, because I feel like the aesthetic is good, and it's not to say that it's not important, but really you want to fall in love with someone for who they are on the inside, because at the end of the day, we may not look like this 20, 30 years from now. You know what I mean? It's like, I need you to love me for
My
me.
tits are already sagging.
Girl, you heard me
My
on the
left
show.
one on the plane, I was like, what's happening
You
here?
heard me on the show,
really
okay?
was.
I need somebody to love my saggy boobs.
Yeah, you said that.
Yes.
Wow. So
Right.
proud
Your
of
boobs
myself.
don't look saggy at the moment.
Oh, not yet, girl. Just
Okay.
check
Oh,
with
you're
me
talking,
in 30
you're talking in the
years.
future. Okay, I was like, they're very full and perky. But
you.
sorry for staring.
so-
Okay, we have time for two more
understand.
questions.
Do you guys think love is blind?
True love,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What follow up to that? What do you think the other couples that didn't make it through to marriage were experiencing if it wasn't blind love?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I think it's clear that they had a connection. I mean, it's hard to know exactly how deep that connection was. I don't think that we can extract out the physical attraction component of love and relationships. You need to be physically attracted, sexually attracted, whatever. I don't think some of the couples made it there for whatever reason, even though overall everyone was generally attractive. Everyone's got different tastes too.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone's gonna smell right to you too.
That's
Right.
true.
Pheromones.
True.
Yeah.
Pheromones, just the general vibe between the two. So there's like other factors there, and then like the practical living together lifestyle factors have to
Right.
align as well, which I think Lauren and I did a pretty good job of working that out in the pods. There's still obviously a lot that we had to figure out when we were in the apartments together too. Space, personal space,
That's a big one.
affection, the balance there, which can be a tough balance. So, yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, it's been a pleasure.
Thank
you so
you
much
for
Thank you for
having
having
us.
out of your busy press week.
Oh,
I
of
know.
course.
You guys were on
No.
Ellen, right?
Yeah,
We
that
were.
aired today.
That was
God.
fun.
was
We
great.
can't thank you guys enough. Please come back if you guys
Oh,
get your own
thank
show.
you.
We love
Awesome.
you. We
And
believe
thank
in
you.
you. Yeah.
Where-
and will you
Yes,
will
thank
you sign off on my recommendation letter for Love Is Blind? Because I want to.
Yes,
go
I
on.
will.
Absolutely.
Careful what you ask for, girl. You may find a
Absolutely.
husband.
I think I need to because I think I'm focused too much on exterior.
I totally
maybe
get it.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
All
it.
I would
Love you
love.
guys.
I would
Love you
love
guys.
to see that.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Podcast.